Told him I ain't selling it for nothing less than lavish. To the people that are definitely indulging in some jazzy feels, and to the people who are new, welcome. My name is Kayla, but I go by Jazzy, BKA Jazzy Feels. I never really talk about where jazzy feels come from, but the feels is a big part of the jazzy, because my name is not Jasmine, my name is Kayla, so it's jazzy, but the jazzy feels is like my brand, because that's an expression of how jazzy would feel. Today we're going to be working with this tarot. I also wanted to say that you can make time for anything that you want. Today was a beautiful active day where my love, she hosted a copper wire wrapping class, and I created this beautiful piece here. This was solidite, and created this as well, and I also made a keychain, but I'm iced out today for that reason. You already know it's a and even within that, her sister went into labor, so baby Yara is on the way. Not only that, but family and just being indulged with so many different personalities and energies within a day, regardless of, the blood ties. Like, family is family. They hold a vibration. And still being able to have this time dedicated to myself, even if it was just to pull cards at one point, just become a lot more sacred and a lot more divine in the ways that I make time for it. This is the best time of the day, probably like 6, some people 7, sometimes it could be 5 o'clock, but when the sun is going down and you have that nice little glow, I love that. So before we go into the night, just want to be present, want to be grateful for today and all the beautiful things that it's brought, the great insight, and all, every day we at it. Oh, I'm gonna just take this one. I've never pulled this card before, but something told me just to use this card today, so I'm at this deck. So we have the Star of Venus. Wow, her hair kind of looks like, well, not really, my hair was like this earlier, I had it wrapped around. That's beautiful. One of the things I'm noticing the most is the vibration, like these little waves that these frequency goes. It reminds me of, like, in science class they would have those little balls that would have that, it was like black, and they would have those little thin lines, but it was like a frequency in which when you touched it, it was like it will catapult into a stronger source of bolt or of light, but it was also like very single and thin. So that's what I noticed the most about it, because it's very frequency based, and a lot of the artwork is, I would say, creative, but this one is giving more of like a frequency, like a trippy type of a vibe, not just like a flowy. Let me see. Oh, this is a beautiful one. It's a hopeful heart. See her sign. But I just wanted to show you, like, you see how the energies beyond that is a lot softer. Even though it's still vibrant, still bright, like something about this is giving the electricity, the frequency. I'm hearing frequency or vibration, static. So it's the static, but even with her eyes, I think I pulled a card yesterday where her eyes was closed as well, but it was still very calm. Oh, no, her eyes wasn't closed, but it wasn't yesterday. But I pulled a card that remind me of this phase, where kind of like the one I have tatted, where the girl is her eyes is, she has a shadow on her, but the mindset and the physical representation is like very insightful still. Like carrying all that within her being is electrifying. And I love that it's sourcing from the heart. Like the vibrancy is mirrored in the heart. And this swirl on her arm is quite interesting because my love, her copper wire wrapping class was today, like I mentioned. And a fun fact about her jewelry is that it usually always has that swirl. Like even with this, which is like a custom piece, she uses that curl, that little swirl like that. And that's something a lot of people don't know. But like you see, even in this one, you'll notice it like in a lot of her work, and I think that's beautiful. So I love that it says sister 20 heart. So wow. Never noticed that, but they left it in there for a reason. What I get from this is someone that is in a state where you seeing is not going to be the clearest version. Like what you see, it may be like an illusion very much. I've been getting that word delusional or illusion. Like a lot of people are in that state right now. But I would say like when you're considering the insight, like the fact that this is still enlightened, this is still vibrating to a certain frequency that I would say is very vibrant and alert. It's open. That eye is open. It seems as if the understanding and alignment between these two vibrations and enlightenment, because a form of opening up your heart chakra develops all aspects of yourself. So opening up your heart chakra allows for your throat chakra to develop, your root chakra. A lot of things will never be balanced if at first your heart chakra wasn't based and grounded and balanced. So to get that true enlightenment with that heart and connecting that to the mentality of how you look at things, it's almost as if you don't have to see to know and be aligned to the frequency of everything that's around you. When I look at this right here, it kind of reminds me of like, I don't know if everyone experiences this, but like when you close your eyes hard enough or when you stare at the light long enough, you see I see this. Like when you close your eyes and you open your eyes real quick, it'd be like those little visions of whatever you think you're seeing. It reminds me of this as well. And the reason why I say it reminds me the most about it is because the Matrix, when you think about the Matrix, like it's a physical, they're saying it's something that physically our eyes and the way that we perceive things is what allows the Matrix to have the vibrancy, whether it be the color formats or whatever. So if we didn't have the eyes, like for example, sometimes you see in movies where it's like I'm seeing the pictures of it, I'm trying to put it together in the story, but like when someone is dying in a movie or when they're going to sleep or when something traumatic happens, how they have that phasing out of it and it's like to a smaller source, right? So it becomes a lot more, what am I trying to bring this around to? Like it becomes a lot more, the way that you see things is altered by the way that your eyes is, period, right? Okay, so it's like I could keep on using analogies, but my point of what I'm trying to say is hard to put in like a physical word. But if people are spiritual, like people, if you really try to in tune into like things like your mind being concentrated or not, like for example, paying attention to how your vision stays. Like for example, if you leave your eyes open, I don't know if you ever do this, but I do stuff like this. Leave your eyes open, that same feeling will come. Like when somebody's closing their eyes, that same feeling will come if you leave your eyes open and stare at one thing. I don't care how bright it is. So do that, and if you do that, please comment and let me know, because I know I do that, and I want to know if the things like that are just with me. But beyond that, my eyes are closed, but that's supposed to be me focusing on something. So if you stare at one thing long enough, don't blink your eyes, just continue to stare at it, and it starts to get darker around until it's dark. I've never seen it be completely dark to where I can't see it, but it could be to a point where your focus is so strong that the outer forces that you think are showing you something vibrant, it becomes like dull and black. And I'm doing it and concentrating on it as I'm looking at the ring. But just doing that by yourself, when you have nobody to talk to, nobody to try to express yourself to, you will see darkness coming around it. So and still, that's not a concept of uh that's a mental state that you're tapping into when you do things like that. So to tie this around, man, I'm sorry, there's no 3D way to say this, but when you're looking with your eyes closed and you're still focusing on something, whether it's just your intuition or what your intuition is telling you, it allows you to see things in a particular way, but it's a lot more sharp. Um, that's the best way I can mention it. And that's what I think about when I see this, because her eyes don't have to be open. This is a situation where, kind of like with Raven, when you have insight and you have to close your eyes to really see it and not allow those distractions to, it's going to be a form of focus that is needed. And the picture of the closed eyes is what give me that focus. But this enlightenment right here shows me that, it's still a form of deeper understanding behind it. It's more to tell than just her hearing things. Is like a form of guidance, even down to the way that this is all connected. I bring it back to that science thing that they have. I wish I knew the name of it, but I guess you can say, I don't know, but I went to this museum where they had so many forms of like just science experiences. And your hand, like you'll put your hand down and it'll change colors based off the temperature of your hand, or you'll play with that thing, you'll walk and the static will follow you, but the root is still connected to you. And it's sourced in just how, like, we are physically that, but the vibrations that are outside are stimulating and like it's still a form of stimulation that's connecting to us and bouncing off of us. And when we tune into it in this source, I just get grounding. So tie it around one more time. When someone is looking in this source, what I get from it, and I do acknowledge the fact that she looks nude, which is another form of just allowing the raw to form. But when her eyes are closed like that, it's giving me deep revelation. That's more than just I have a headache. That's more than just I'm sleepy. That's more than just what. It's like I'm hearing what you're telling me, and I'm allowing the attunement to vibrate on some "that's so Raven" moment when she go, shh, and all of a sudden she got a clear vision of clairvoyancy on everything that's gonna happen for people outside of her. And that was always so powerful that she got it mostly on people outside of her, but she couldn't really see her future like that. Y'all remember that? But we're going to see what this card means, and we're going to go into more detail. I really went on my way to express the energy that I see behind it. Sometimes it's hard to put it in definition or try to put all of the different things that come into wording, like a storyline, but it's just definitely holding a vibration of wisdom, insight, and understanding that you are being used, or that you're being guided would be the better word to use. You're being guided. It says, Shahak, star of Venus, supports an inner shift to higher consciousness. Whether or not you consider yourself to be financially skillful, part of your sacred power and purpose includes the healing of economic and financial matters in your own life and the world. You are meant to experience abundance, creating and sharing your prosperity from a place of inner spiritual security. A healing liberation for poverty consciousness allows the universe to work through you more easily without the obstruction of negative conditioning. I like that. So it's funny because now reading this and it's talking about financial consciousness, is like more like the spiritual alignment validation, because even down to seeing this symbol, that's powerful. And to see this insight in her face look like this is a combination of things that me and people that I love are on. And I love to just see those little symbolisms, because the heart is the most radiant thing in this whole painting. And I just feel like it's powerful that they said, yeah, you're going to have a form of healing, but it's spiritual and it's for the economy. And I'm big on that because I don't know if I spoke on that before. I don't talk about that a lot, but I feel like money is used incorrectly, and that's why there's a subject of inadequacy or lack. Everybody supposed to have a balance, but nobody should go without when it's somebody that's throwing so much out. You know, something is off. And I'll be honored to be able to be of service to the universe, to be able to have abundance and kind of balance. I know I'm not going to change this world. There's only so much I can do. But just expressing how these things actually matter and what these things look like from an outer perspective of someone that's not just a consumer, but also a liver, like a reviewer. I think that it's beautiful to just acknowledge that. And again, I thank y'all for being here to witness, because I do feel like it starts with things of this sort. My financial stability, I feel like it's going to be based in trust and faith. For anyone that I feel give me the opportunity to make money, it's going to be a flip. It's always going to be fair exchange, and it's always going to be a form of where everyone can win. I truly believe in that. And it supports an inner shift to higher consciousness, because that concept is just in your mind. For real, the lack perspective and fears of inadequacy, that's something that I definitely battle with. And I think I spoke on that, because even with me knowing that I can do more, I feel like what I choose to indulge my energy in is not based in just the money or what I can get from it. And you know, it's for a reason. Woo. I shaded that. I embrace that. Y'all gonna be here to see it, because y'all know I'm gonna be here tomorrow. Thank y'all for rocking with me. If y'all watching it to right now, go ahead and like that video. Y'all already know what's up. If it's just one of you, I'll fuck with you. And if it's 1,000 of you, y'all already know what's up. We the building. I see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Stay up. Stay positive. Believe in yourself. Cards don't lie. But it really was me believing myself for the cards to even give me this validation. That's what it's big on. And sometimes I use the cards just so y'all know, like, I'm gonna start showing y'all more how these shits be flipping out, so y'all know this is beyond me. So peace to y'all. Hope y'all have a beautiful day, and regardless of how the day go, y'all can make it y'all own way. Make sure y'all eat, stay hydrated, and be grateful. Peace.